犹太人又被称为圣书的子民，他们一生的行为准则、衣食住行都要依照律法书妥拉的指示。新加坡约有3000名犹太教徒，来自世界各地，汇聚于此，以独特的生活方式延续着犹太人的信仰与传承。亚历克斯一家4年前从英国搬来新加坡，每周五太阳落山前，太太安娜都会忙着准备食材，因为到了周六安息日，他们要停止一切活动，完全放松和休息。
The Sabbath is obviously something that goes back to biblical times. It was one of the 10 commandments, and the commandment is to keep the Sabbath holy. It is a day of rest for Jewish people. And from sundown, which today is at 6:53 p.m., we're very exact about when sundown happens, until sundown tomorrow, we do no work. It's really a day of family time. So no screens, we don't use any electronics, we don't even use light switches, and it's a time where we can read, we can spend time with each other, we can socialize with friends. It means that you need to be a little bit prepared. So, observant Jews will make sure everything is ready before the Sabbath. If you want a light on, for example, that you'll do that, remember to turn it on before the Sabbath. Food will all be prepared before the Sabbath. If you go to Israel, or even here in Singapore in the synagogue, there's a lift, and the lift will stop at every single floor, and that means that you never actually have to push the lift button.
In the Jewish tradition, we separate milk and meat products. So I have both a milk section, where I have different drawers for my utensils, for plates and mugs, and also cooking equipment such as saucepans and chopping boards. So this is my meat section, and actually it can get confusing. So what we do is we put red tape around all of our utensils so that it's clear which one is for which. Also, when we wash up, everything is kept separate. So this is where we would keep our meat set, and then things that are washed up here in our dairy set.
安娜端出烤好的哈拉面包，全家人要一起开始安息日仪式。
The starting point of the Sabbath is when normally the mum would light the candles, and that has to happen within 18 minutes of sundown. 18 is a very auspicious number in the Jewish religion, and once the candles are lit, that means that Sabbath comes in, and that's when all the customs and the rules apply. And then there is a short service that we go through where I will read something called Kiddush, which is the prayer that we say in Hebrew to bring in the Sabbath, and we'll bless the children. After the prayers, there's also, we wash our hands 6 times, and then we make a prayer over challah, which is a special kind of bread that we have in the Jewish tradition.
祈祷结束后，全家人一起品尝哈拉面包，开启安息日的美好时光。对于亚历克斯来说，犹太教不仅仅是宗教，也是作为犹太人的一种身份认同。
When you walk into any Jewish home or any Jewish building, you would usually see what we call a mezuzah. There's a commandment to have a mezuzah on your doorposts. Some people, when you walk into a home, you will just kiss the mezuzah, and it's actually a way of elevating it to a spiritual experience. To remember that you're Jewish, and it's to remember God.
作为圣书的子民，犹太人一生学习妥拉。在亚洲文明博物馆2楼的古代宗教展厅，工作人员正忙着布置犹太教展柜。 即将展出的是存放经书卷轴的妥拉盒。妥拉在希伯来语的意思是指来自上帝的指引与教导，是犹太教信仰中最珍贵神圣的物件。妥拉卷轴放在银质的圆柱形盒子内，半米多高，上面刻有精致的雕饰。当犹太人打开卷轴阅读妥拉时，就如同走进圣所。亚历克斯把2个儿子送到本地一间国际学校读书，大儿子今年12岁，读6年级。除了普通的学业课程外，每周还学习希伯来文和犹太教育课程。
We learn lots about the Jewish festivals, the Jewish Bible, the Torah, and Jewish blessings we say on food sometimes. It's important to know about your religion because it really helps you understand more about who you are. When you're learning about Jewish, you really feel like you're a part of this community. You really feel motivated to practice all the Jewish things.
伊莱恩是这间学校的校长，也曾在以色列和香港的犹太人学校任职。
So the school is made up of Jewish children and children of different faiths. We have 6 other faiths here in the school. Judaism for us in school is a way of life. You'll see many celebrations, festivals, carnivals. We celebrate Shabbat on a Friday. So many of the students in their classrooms will bring out the bread and the wine and the candles, and they'll learn the Jewish rituals around Shabbat. And on Fridays, you'll see the students here dressed in white shirts in preparation for the arrival of the holy day.
位于滑铁卢街的犹太会堂是本地犹太人的宗教场所和活动中心。阿贝热尔拉比是这里的拉比领袖，已在此服务27年。拉比是犹太人对老师的称呼，他们接受过正统犹太教育，平日的职责包括教导、主持礼拜、歌礼、婚礼、丧礼等，也负责本地犹太教社群事务。
And the idea of Judaism really is a partnership between God and mankind, which is expressed by the fulfillment of a number of commandments that God gave us, almost like throwing us a rope and saying to us, with these commandments, with these deeds, you are able to connect to me.
犹太人的信仰以妥拉为核心，建立在上帝与人立约的律法关系上。犹太法典613条是人们行为准则、饮食起居、灵修处事的重要规范。
The Torah has, you might say, in these 613 commandments, has 3 main pillars. The laws of the festivals have to be observed. That also, of course, includes the Sabbath. Then there are commandments that deal with business activities, how we regulate litigations, and so on and so forth. A whole set of ethos, moral standards in every single aspect of life. You have a whole category of commandments that deal with dietary laws, what is fit for consumption and what is not.
活动中心内有一间售卖犹太节食的商店，本地犹太人多来此选购食材。犹太人必须食用带有节食标记的食物。犹太节食注重原料成分，牛羊要经过指定的屠宰法处理并放血，严禁食用猪肉。在衣着装扮上，犹太教男子时常头戴圆顶小帽基帕，代表对上帝的尊敬。
Kippah is really a symbol of God's presence. So the person wears a kippah, what he declares is that there is this awareness. Anywhere he goes, the divine presence accompanies him. He guides the steps of man. The kippah represents the values that he lives by.
每年的逾越节是犹太人的大日子，纪念旧约时代摩西帮助苦难的以色列人逃出埃及，重获自由。 这一天，犹太会堂的餐馆早早就开始忙碌准备逾越节晚餐。
Well, Passover is a festival that lasts for 8 days. Something that is unique, very, very special, which almost all Jews observe, and that is what we call the Passover night or the Passover Seder. The word Seder means order. During this night, we basically recount the story of the Exodus. We recount the story of how we left Egypt.
餐盘是逾越节晚餐的主角，侍应生们精心准备着所需的几种食材，每样都有特殊意义。磨碎的苹果代表建造仓库的砖头，芹菜叶象征希望和更新，两味苦菜代表犹太人在埃及为奴时所受的痛苦，烤鸡块象征逾越节献祭的羔羊，鸡蛋唤起对圣殿毁灭的哀悼。将菜叶浸入盐水中，水滴代表眼泪，提醒犹太人在埃及为奴的辛酸。犹太人庆祝逾越节，不仅是对于历史的回顾，更是提醒自己珍惜眼下享有的自由。信徒相信，拥有自由是为了完成上帝在每个人生命中的计划。伴随着陆续点亮的烛光，追忆过往，忆苦思甜，将犹太社群紧紧地凝聚在一起。
Adonai echad